If you wanted to, today's video is going to be my June TBR, so I'm going to be sharing with you the books that I'm hoping to read this month. And since last month I failed at my reading challenge of the year, which if you don't know, every month I'm trying to read one big book, which I choose from this big old jar. So last month I didn't finish Pandora's Star by Peter F. Hamilton, just a hard sci-fi kind of space opera-ish story. I don't even want to talk about it anymore, so need to be finished this month. But since it's in the beginning of a new month, I need to pick another one, which I need to read 2 this month. I mean, I don't really need to, but my goal is to read at least 10 out of the 12 that I picked earlier this year. So we have Emma by Jane Austen, which I'm happy because this has a little less than 600 pages. It's still considered a big book. Everything that has over 500 pages are the books that I consider big, and 600, I can do that actually. I'm so happy I didn't pick like The Stand or something with like over 1,000 pages. I would have been like, well, those are the 2 books that I'm reading this month. So yes, Emma by Jane Austen. I have never seen the movie or movies or TV show, and I've never read this book, so I definitely want to do so. Obviously I have this gorgeous edition, so I should be extra motivated to do so. But yes, I feel like I've heard people say that Clueless is like a vague modern version, so we shall see how I feel about it. But yes, very excited about it. So relieved that it's not a big one. Okay, so all the other books that are on my TBR, I've kind of added a few that were in my TBR last month or the one before, but I'm gonna go through those quite quickly. And I try to just like grab new ones because I'm getting a little discouraged here. So yeah, some of them are repeats, some of them are just meh, but some of the ones that were in my past TBRs are still technically in my TBR. I need to see where I'm at, because I feel like last month you might have noticed I read a bunch of audiobooks, and I'm planning on getting a bunch of ebook express from my library because there are new books that I really want to read, but the waiting list, I've been talking about it, is like ridiculously long, like months. So I'm getting them as ebook express, so I have like 7 days to read them. So currently actually I'm reading the ebook express of The Wife Between Us. So I will most likely be done actually when I'm posting this video, but for example, this is the one I'm reading, damn it woman, the one I'm currently reading. I am planning on getting a few other ones that are like thrillers because I've been in the mood, and I feel like I'm kind of making a list of the ones that I'm dying to read now, so I can let you know if they're worth the read during the fall, because that's usually when I start recommending some and reading a bunch, but I've slowly been into it. But let's go with my current TBR, that is like physical books. Some that were on my TBR the last months. Epic fantasy. I have not been reading fantasy a lot, which was so weird because every year usually my most read genre is fantasy, epic fantasy, magic, battles, fighters is usually what I read. And I need to read this one, which is Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. I'm dying to read this one, and Grey Sister, which just came out last month. So it will happen. I promise myself it will happen. I had mentioned Locked In the past 2 by Jen Scalzi, which is a dystopian world where there's like a specific disease that affects pretty much everyone, but most people only have like flu symptoms, but 1% are people that are like locked into their own bodies. Want to read this. And then last but not least, I believe this is the last one that has been on my TBR in the past, which is Rendezvous with Rama by Arthur C. Clarke, which is a classic sci-fi. I believe this is First Contact also with aliens, which I've been really into in the last couple of months. So want to read this. It's fairly short. Apparently it's a quick read too, and a lot of people post this on their like best sci-fi of all time, which I'm hoping this time is also going to be the case for me, because I've read a couple like The Forever War, which is not the case for me. But I'm hopeful. Very, very hopeful. Now, let's go to the other books that I'm hoping to read this month. The first one was on my top 18 books of 2018 that I'm hoping to read, which is This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab, which is a YA fantasy duology. The second book is already out, so as soon as I'm done with this, I can continue. I feel like the reviews have been a little bit all over the place, but I feel like it's kind of a thing with me. I love Victoria Schwab's writing more than her stories. Like, I loved Shadow Something of Magic trilogy. That is like literally right there. But her writing is what I love the most, so it definitely probably will be the case here too. So even if I don't love the story, I know writing is going to be amazing. So yes, I need to get to this. And actually I'm noticing pretty much all the books that I'm hoping to read are pretty big this month, which gotta help myself here. Another one that look deceptively small, but it is not. There's like over 500 pages in here, or almost 500 pages. And it is Sphere. I was going to say it in French, Sphere. Sphere by Michael Crichton. I read one of his other books, this one, The Under Strain, earlier this year in April? And I really, really loved it, although his writing is so freaking dry, like so freaking dry. But it got me really excited to read more by him. I need to actually read Jurassic Park by him for sure. But yes, I've been very excited to read this. It's also a sci-fi and there's so many great reviews. So yes, I'm hoping to also get to that one. I have been noticing that I am dreading / just not reading starting series because I start them and then don't finish them, and I feel like a bunch of the ones that I've been pushing back are series. So girl got issues and she needs to fix them. So I'm hoping to finally start the Culture series, the first... Okay, it's not technically the first book. I believe this one is the second book, but a bunch of people have been telling me to start with the second one. They're technically like a bunch of companion novels, but they're not... You don't necessarily have to read them in order. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yes, this is like a second one, but you can start with this one. And it is The Player of Games by Ian M. Banks. Me and names. So yes, let me know if I'm wrong. I will have to double check online, but yes, I believe this is technically the one I'm supposed to start with / most recommended one. So yes, I need to get to this. There are so many books. I believe there are like at least 10 in this series. So I need to start them. I need to stop being afraid of big series. I also wanted to read some nonfictions because I have been enjoying them, and this one, again by Carl Sagan, is one of the ones I've been really wanting to read. Last month I read Contact by Carl Sagan, and he's more of a nonfiction type of guy, and I started with his first or only fiction book, and again, very interesting concept, but very dry writing, and I'm hoping that a nonfiction book by him is going to be better. This one is The Demon Haunted World. Basically, science as a candle in the dark. In this book, he kind of debunks fallacies of witchcraft and fate healing and demon and UFOs, and basically he's kind of making fun of some of those things and kind of explaining them and just bringing the light of science to those concepts. I'm very, very interested in this one. Actually, I have a few of his other books on my bookshelves and I just feel like I need to start reading them. I'm very, very interested in doing so. It's not super recent, actually. Most of his books aren't. At least the ones I have on my shelf. This was published in '96, but it's still very relevant, I feel like, nowadays. So let me know, actually, if you have read any of his books, whether it's this one or any other video or any other nonfiction by him. I feel like I'm blah, 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 blah. So yes, let me know because I'm curious to see how people feel about them, especially on BookTube. I feel like I haven't heard a lot of people talk about his books, if anyone. So let me just check if I can give you a few of the books that I'm hoping to read from my library, because I'm still hoping to read The Immortalist by Chloe Benjamin, I believe. And it's a story of like a couple siblings, and they meet a voyant or someone telling them about their futures and like giving them date of when they were going to die. And it's just affecting your life, and you just see how it goes. I'm super intrigued by the premise. It's a newer book, and I feel like the reviews have been a little bit all over the place, but I'm still very much hopeful I would like it. I'm also wanting to get the ebook express of Let Me In by Claire McIntosh, because I have read 2 of her other books and I really like them. But once again, I feel like this one has been like, the reviews have been a little bit all over the place, so I want to be able to read it now and tell you if I think it's worth the read or the waiting list at your libraries. A few of the books that I will for sure get from my library, because I'm like, they're telling me available soon, aka I'm the next one on the waiting list. I have Only Humans by Savannah, which is the last book in the Temesval series, which is a trilogy with giant robots, which has been quite fun. It's very fast-paced. All the books are like 300 pages. And they're all like interviews and files and everything and reports. So it's such a quick read. And I'm enjoying it and I want to finish it. I'm hoping the third one is going to be as good as the other ones. And I will also be able to read Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Appertali. I was saying in my last video how it's not related to Simons versus the Homo Sapien Agenda, and I'm wrong. I'm very happy, actually, I'm wrong, because it's technically a second book in the series. Leah is basically the best friend of Simon, which even better because I really like the characters in Simon. And I think I will also be able to get The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty, which a lot of people have been telling me it's technically an adult fantasy. I feel like it has been mentioned quite often that it's also a YA one, so I will be able to judge after I read it, but they're telling me that like available soon. I'm like second one on the waiting list, so hopefully. I feel like every month I keep giving myself longer and longer TBR, but basically I'm very hopeful to read a bunch of books. What books are you hoping to read in, I was going to say March, June? Are you excited about something? Are you someone that actually reads more during the summer than during the winter? Because I usually read more during the summer, but I feel like in the last 2 months I've been like a beast and reading so much. I'm hoping I'm gonna be able to continue. I've been like using a lot of audiobooks because it's getting warmer and I'm able to walk and enjoy the outside and just have a little bit of motivation in my ears. Almost forgot, I'm hoping to do a readathon, like a 24 personally, just me readathon, and I'm planning on reading The Poppy War. Is that the name of the book? Which I'll put it on the screen so you can see it because I can't remember the name of the author, but it's a debut author book and the reviews have been amazing, and it's a fantasy book and I haven't been reading a bunch of them and I'm like missing it, so I'm hoping this is gonna be like a hit for me as much as everyone else, because I feel like I've been reading a bunch of meh books and not enough like amazing ones, and hopefully this one will be it for me, so you can have that to look forward to. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section again which books you are planning on reading, or if you have read any of these ones, what you thought about them, spoiler free. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss any future videos, and I will be putting on the screen other videos that I've done that I recommend you check out. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.